Brazil's suspended president, Dilma Rouseff, gave her first interview after impeachment to RT Spanish. Rouseff was removed from power a week ago after mass demonstrations voicing demands on her resignation. RT Spanish correspondent Nicholas Sanchez exclusively spoke to the ousted president.
In an exclusive interview with RT, Dilma Rouseff sent a very clear message, not only to her supporters, but to her political opponents, her political enemies. She said she's going to fight every hour of every day, not only to regain power, but to show the world she is innocent of any crime. Roussef was removed from power temporarily about a week ago, and since then she's called this whole process a political coup, a coup d'etat. Roussef had very strong words for the new interim president, for Michel Temer. She said his government was exclusive and had no legitimacy.
The media here in Brazil are highly critical when it comes to me, my government and our allies. But they tend to favor the interim government and avoid criticizing it, despite the peculiar situation that has arisen.
The president also warned about the intentions of this new interim government. She said that she fears that Michel Temer wants to cut social programs that have helped millions of Brazilians in the past, and she encouraged Brazilians to fight for democracy.
Meanwhile, in Sao Paulo, thousands of protesters are calling on Brazil's interim president, Michel Temer, to step down. The demonstrators marched to the National Arts Foundation, where they vented their anger over Temer's decision to reduce the powers of the Culture Ministry. Michel Temer's latest moves have raised eyebrows, such as his move to shut down the Human Rights Ministry and to make the Culture Ministry part of the country's education authority. His new cabinet has also drawn criticism for its lack of diversity. What's more, the interim leader's choice for Agriculture Minister has been questioned, as Blair O'Magey is known for accelerating deforestation in the Amazon. All of this comes as the president's secretary is under investigation for taking suspected bribes. The public remains deeply divided over the suspension of President Roussef, who is now facing charges of breaking the country's budget laws during her 2014 election campaign. RT's William Whiteman reports on why many believe Roussef's fall from grace was orchestrated from outside Brazil.
With impeachment proceedings currently underway against Brazil's embattled president, Dilma Rouseff, some, including Venezuela's President Maduro, are pointing to potential US involvement.
I have no doubt that behind this coup is the label "Made in the USA."
Several key revelations add credibility to this claim. Firstly, shortly after last month's preliminary vote to remove the president from power, an opposition politician who voted in favor of impeaching Roussef, Aloysio Nunes, traveled to Washington for 3 days of meetings with various US officials. Secondly, Brazil's new interim leader, Michel Temer, is reported to have previously provided the US with information regarding Brazil's leftist leadership. The current US ambassador to Brazil served in Paraguay prior to the 2012 coup against the country's leftist president, Fernando Lugo. Some might say her arrival in Brazil in 2013 came at a pretty suspicious time, too.
You know, there's so many little bits and pieces of this information that's coming out right now. You've got this about the ambassador also being in Paraguay right before the coup there. You've got this about Temer. And then, of course, you know that we know due to WikiLeaks documents that in 2013, Dilma, canceled her trip to the U.S. because the United States was found to be spying on Brazil and looking into Petrobras, the state oil company. So all these things are kind of adding up to this perfect storm. How worried we should be, it's really hard to say.
Despite these revelations, there is as yet no direct evidence of US involvement. However, with the US's track record in Latin America, it seems highly likely that many will continue to assume the worst.
People always have to be aware of what the US government might be doing abroad, what role they might be playing, how they might be trying to influence other people, build democracy in order to overthrow legitimate governments. whether that's in Brazil or whether that's in Argentina, whether that's in Venezuela or wherever that might be. We need to look at what the information is and what we know and be aware of what could potentially happen according to what's always happened.
William Whiteman, RT.